5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. We are doing a remote edition of our broadcast because you are in some weird place that nobody knows, some bunker or something. Are you worried about, like, safety, or are you in the Bahamas, or what's going on?
No, I am in a production studio, and right outside there, this is the first day of my production start today to do my documentary on my life story. So I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, to meet with the producers, and we're going over some of the sketches and some of the interviews. And I got some of my former players flying in to tell some stories that they better not tell, like the Lothario days stories.
Yeah.
Nicky's up in the pier. but I was a great rookie coming to the Packers, so everybody liked me. So there's no bad stories. So I'll just edit it out. So it's okay.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. When is this documentary expected to
Well, it's moving pretty fast. We got a lot of the other stuff done. But we're probably maybe the top of 26, in the middle of 26, it'll be ready. And I'm very, very excited. Yeah, and I'm doing it independently too. So, it's you put your own money up or go raise the money. And I like that though, because you can kind of be the executive producer and tell your story you want it told. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about following the Packers' big 35-25 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh on Sunday. I think it was I think a lot of people were surprised that the Packers won the game in the first place, but
really,
it was really a tale of two halves. Yes. And I'm curious what your thought is on what the difference was, and maybe why the two different halves were so completely different.
Well, first of all, I believe in the quarterback first. That's number one. I mean, we can say what you want to say, whatever. I don't matter. It don't matter to me. The quarterback, to me, Jordan Love, up until this point, because I talk to people and I brag all the time how exceptional he is. And they'll say, well, give me a signature game. And I'd say, with the Cowboys game, of course, last year, whatever. Yeah, but just give me I said, well, guess what? There's one, 360, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, no sacks, very patient.
20
If you're going to give me 5, 8, if you're going to give it to me, I'll take it. I'm not going to force it. And some of the throws he was making was so amazing. And then that kind of evolved into Matt LaFleur's play calling. It's almost like it was a reconnaissance mission the first half. Let me see if this works. Okay, now I got some good stuff. That's when you see 83 coming in the game, Williams, and you see them doing a lot of things, and you start to feature Tucker Kraft. And you know why that is? He had so much space, because number 9 is back, Watson. They did not want to give up anything deep. That gives him a lot of space to roam. So I trust the process. So, and I understand that every game is different. Every opponent is different. But you were right on time, as always. It was a tale of two halves. Because when you're thinking about when McManus missed a couple of kicks, you say, where's that other kid at? Put him in there. But you have to stick with the process and understand that sooner or later you're gonna make some plays. And I kept just saying to myself, get to the fourth quarter, the two best pass rushers together are gonna take over. And that's what happened. I mean, Rashad Garrett's having an all-pro year, not Pro Bowl, all-pro. And Michael Parsons, the guy split 3 people and get a sack. And then other guys just stepped up on defense. Now, yes, got to make some corrections in the running game. But the main thing you want to do, Tom, is not let Aaron Rodgers just go crazy for 400 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns, and they carry him off the field. So I'm glad I didn't have to see that.
Yeah, I wasn't really too worried about Rodgers in that game going into the game because I sort of felt like the Steelers are still kind of finding themselves what they want to do offensively, and Rodgers had been getting the ball out of his hand quickly.
Yes,
and that sort of plays. Though it's kind of hurt the Packers a little bit against Cleveland and against Cincinnati. I think in this game it sort of played to the Packers' favor to get the ball out of his hands because they rallied really well to the ball. They just played a lot of zone, and they didn't let anything get behind them except for a couple of busts. But let's go back to offense.
Yes.
I think, what it looked like to me with Love, and he didn't have to make a lot of spectacular throws, but he didn't get sacked. He didn't let himself get sacked. And to me, it looked like he was just spreading the ball around. Wherever the defense said the ball should go, that's where he was putting the ball. And that's kind of, I think, what Matt LaFleur wants, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Because if you look at, he was, I think, 29 for 37 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he had 4 drops.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had 4 drops. So he could have been almost perfect. But again, I've been telling people about his arm talent. And the arm talent was on display a couple times. Now, here's the thing about what we call a panic state when you're a defensive back. I've been telling you this for years. If I see your name, I'm throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a defensive back, the quarterback sees your name because you're fighting through. That's why he threw that one to Tucker Kraft, and he was able to get it. And the other one was he threw one that I wouldn't tell the kids who are being quarterback, never throw back across your body. But if you have the arm strength and the trust, when he threw it to Christian Watson, that was a big play. But
yeah.
he threw it because he could see the other guys are trailing his fastest receiver, and you just believe in him.
Right.
Those plays just pretty much broke Pittsburgh back. And again, him going up there, changing the play when he have to, or keeping it, and just make people understand that, yes, this is not the game for Josh Jacobs. But I was so excited for Emmanuel Wilson. Wilson. Because, Tom, they didn't want to tackle him in the 4th quarter. This kid was running low, hard, and that pretty much sealed it. But Jordan Love looked like he's in perfect control. But seeing that I'm a petty person, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What was going on after the game? Allegedly, it looked like him and Rodgers were going to exchange jerseys. And Rodgers, well, since I lost, I'm good. I'll do it. I'm not doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either. I didn't really. That's kind of a time when I'm heading down to the locker room and get a chance to see what's going on. I didn't hear anything. I know they talked about it, but I suspect that maybe Rodgers just wanted to get off the field. I don't know.
Oh, because if Pittsburgh would have won, you bet you believe he's out there taking his pads off, switching jerseys and all that stuff. But if you look at Jordan, and the reason why I love him, no pun intended, he's the same guy. Yeah. If his guy when Romeo dropped a pass, or Tucker dropped a pass, he's not calling them names. He's not going to do that because Jordan's like, hey, man, I'll get him next time. That's why he's a great leader.
Right. Right.
You because when you're a quarterback, you know this, Tom. They watch your every move, and I just love his demeanor. When he was on the bench, you didn't know if they were winning or losing. He was just waiting for the next opportunity. So this was a signature game for him. I'm so happy for him. I'm just elated for him.
And of course, it was a signature game for Tucker Kraft, too.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Has established himself as one of the best players in the league after the ball is in his hands. You have to think that is now the game that establishes him as the number one target in their offense, because even Mike Tomlin said, we knew about him. We knew we had to get him down on the ground and we couldn't do it. That's got to be what the next opponents are thinking about, isn't it?
No question about it. Well, I would say when he went up against Trey McBride in Arizona, he said, listen, we got an 85 too. Because it was, I think, tight end day or something. And not to mention, I'm going to have to pay him real soon, give him a nice extension.
Yeah.
Because catching the ball is, what makes him better than most of the tight ends? He's hard to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He is not going down. Now, securing the ball, that's what people start to do, try to come up from behind you and rip it out. But he has speed to separate from linebackers. He's physical enough to separate from safeties. And with Christian Watson back, he's going to get a lot of space, especially off of play action.
Yeah.
And the tight end screen. Man, I just love the fact that you got 3 tight ends you can rotate in there. But trust me, 85 wants all the smoke. And I'll give you 2 seconds to guess who went to the podium to draft him.
Let's see. Must have been no, it wasn't.
Don't do that. Don't.
One of the better Packer players from that era?
No.
Maybe Santana Dotson, was it?
Oh my God. See, this one I have to call Janet and text her and tell her to.
Yeah, it must have been Gilbert, I think. Gilbert.
It was me.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All
and his mom's jersey was trending. Tucker Kraft's mom.
Uh-huh.
I'm just so proud of him. Because look at it real quick. Him and Jordan didn't go to these big Power 5 schools or win national. No. So shout out to Brian Gutekunst. These guys deserve the opportunity to be on the national stage, and they've been coming through. So I'm so very proud of that.
Yeah. Another thing that struck me, and I wrote about after the game, was that second half, well, even the first half, was more of a complete performance. I mean, you mentioned Emmanuel Wilson. Malik Heath came through in a big way. Didn't have to make a ton of plays, but made plays when he absolutely had to. Carrington Valentine came in and
yes, he did.
For Nate Hobbs and played one of the much better than he did against Dallas when he played against Dallas. You had, other guys like Kingsley Enagbari starting to play a little bit more.
Yes.
Snaps.
Yes.
Even Teron Hopper at the end breaks up that 2-point conversion.
That was big.
He did that in Cleveland too. He only plays on the goal line defense, and they throw him in there, and he just seems to know what he's doing. So it takes a whole community to win a game like that.
When I saw 95 was active, I got excited because now I'm going to see one of my other favorite players on the whole team, Carl Brooks, 94. Mm-hmm. Now, he's a problem. He reminds me of Keith McKenzie. Keith McKenzie, he would just stare and wait for third down and run in for Sean Jones. And he was on a package to go after the quarterback. Now, I don't know what explanation you guys got, but that play should have been a sack, caused fumble, or intentional grounding. I don't understand. How can that be an incomplete pass? But I thought the rules were if you're in the pocket, you can't just throw the ball. It should have been intentional grounding.
I have to look at it again, but I believe there was a running back who was blocking, who was at the line of scrimmage, and that would be the equivalent of throwing it at his feet, sometimes, and so they consider that. I have to. My first thought was, yeah, that's intentional grounding, but then after thinking about it, if there's a tight end or a running back, even
somebody blocking or something,
they let you throw it in the ground. You've seen that, guys. Just, if they're about to get hit, they just throw it in the dirt. So I guess that's what they thought. It's a very smart play by Rodgers. I mean, that
absolutely. Because Brooks was on him quick.
Yes.
That was a great move inside. I mean, and when you rotate him in 99 and then put those young kids in there, man, and you got 52 and number 1 on the outside.
Yeah.
Remember, they couldn't do this in the past. Tom, just rush 4.
Right.
That's how Philly dominated. They just rushed 4 people.
Yes.
And that was great.
That's the difference. Yeah.
Yes.
So when you're down 16-7 at halftime, there's things going wrong, and we can't ignore that first half because there were some issues there that I think need to be addressed. And
agreed.
How concerned are you about the corner position? Because last week it was Nate Hobbs struggling and even Keyshawn Nixon struggling. And then for a second week, Keyshawn Nixon I don't know what was going on with him. The same thing on that deep ball where he kind of just lost the ball, and I don't know what happened there. And then he seemed to be pressing after that. What do you do with that? And if you're Gutekunst, are you looking for a corner in the trade market? The trade deadline is November 4th.
Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna see it through because it's good and bad when it comes to 25. The bad part about it is when you've told everybody you're gonna be the CB1, you got to play like it every single week.
Right.
Every single week. There's no weeks off. The good thing about him is, and I think a lot of players can learn from him, Tom, you got to let that play go and go to the next. You have to, because he had a big breakup later. You got to let it go. Some guys are still dealing with what happened. Next thing you know, you're out of your game and you're off the field. So he has to learn from that to say, you know what? Number 6 from Philly is coming in 2 weeks. I'm not looking past the Panthers, but I got to play like every receiver I'm on. I got to do my homework. Because if you're in bump and run up there with Austin, he's the speed guy. He's going deep. And Metcalf is a big old strong guy. Don't get in a pushing match with him. He's also a speed guy. You got to sit down and take it to the next level. But as far as the team is concerned, I think it's dead and set that they're going to roll with these guys because they think these guys can play better. And I think they can too. Because like you said about Valentine, he played fantastic. Because he challenged, get up there and challenge these guys. Don't just let them get free releases.
Yeah.
And then, because you can't play zone all the time. You got to rotate it in. And I thought Jeff Hafley was master second half. That was unbelievable. Because real quick, the train, I always talk about that's a running game, and the plane is throwing it. You got to manage one and take one away.
Mm-hmm.
So stopping the run and losing contain a couple of times, they got to deal with that. Because more teams are going to try to do those toss pitches. They're going to do those pitch plays all day until you stop them. I mean, Pittsburgh was getting 5 yards minimum a clip, but they still held them under 100. But that's because Pittsburgh tried to be the smartest team in the room instead of just keep running the ball.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't. I know a lot of people have given up on Nate Hobbs. I'm not sure that I would give up on him yet. I still think he has played good football in his history, and injury has kind of been his biggest foe, and I'm not sure that he's completely healthy. I don't know if outside corner is where he should be, but they just need to find a role for him, and I think he'll be okay. With Keyshawn, you're right. I mean, he seems to let plays affect him, because after the giving up that deep ball, then they put him back for punt returns, and he muffs the punt return, and then it's like the whole, it's like a landslide, and
yes,
got to stop that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The learning process of I'm the guy, because that could have been, and shout out to 39 to get that fumble back, because if Pittsburgh got that fumble,
right,
it would have been a different ball game.
For sure.
Yes, and I think that's what Versace is doing, is rotating guys. Now, if I were him, since Watson is back, I would just make Matthew Golden my punt returner. He had the best hands on the team, and just let him do that, because he's not going to get a lot of targets on the offense.
Right.
And I would let 83 be my return guy, Savion. Let him be my kickoff return guy. And it's set. No more rotations, because everybody's going to be shooting at you now, because you're one of the best teams in the league. And special teams, McManus missing those 2 kicks did give me heartburn.
But would you change? Would you go with the young guy? Because, I mean, here, I'll kind of lay out the arguments. The young guy's got a fresh leg, and we've seen him kick indoors, albeit. But he's got 11 games experience, and we've talked about this before. McManus has 10 years experience, and that's, the other thing is, everyone forgets Pittsburgh is one of the hardest places to kick field goals, and they should have never tried a 57-yarder. I don't know what gets into coaches in Pittsburgh, but I remember McCarthy doing that with Mason Crosby, and it's just like the only guy who can hit field goals regularly there is Chris Boswell. Is the Steelers
all the time.
Really hard place to kick field goals. And so they kind of set him up for failure on that one. Now, the 44-yarder, he just blew it. I don't know what you say about that, but I mean, everybody's going to miss a kick. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't mind him trying a 57, 58-yarder, because if you look at the coach and say that's his range, because they go out before the game, you're right, that grass is terrible. That surface is terrible. And because you have one of the best punters in the league, you can just pin them down.
Exactly.
But the kid Aubrey up in Dallas, man, he'll kick it from anywhere. Man, he'll kick a 70-yarder if you try it.
I know, but the conditions are different. I'm telling you, Pittsburgh, you don't take those chances in Pittsburgh. I don't know. I should go on a lecture circuit or something about that, because more dumb decisions are made on kicking field goals in Pittsburgh than maybe it's just limited to the Packers. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. My rant is over on that.
No, I think you may be right. That grass is not a good. That stuff looks terrible.
Well, the wind too. You're like it's you got a conveyance of 3 rivers there. You never know what the winds are doing there. I don't know. Anyway,
if you're not going to try a 57, 58-yarder in Green Bay when the wind is swirling, then you may not want to do it on the road. But I like the fact that the coach believes in their players. I'm all right with it. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't there on Monday, or I would have.
Yeah, I'm glad you wasn't there.
I'd
have pulled your credentials. Yeah, get him out of here.
All right. What's your concern? What's your feeling about the Carolina Panthers? Sounds like there's a good chance that Bryce Young will be back playing quarterback for the Panthers. They're 4-4. Not a bad team.
Yeah. They feisty.
Yeah.
But what I saw, James Cook, fantasy guy, by the way, he put a career day on them running. They cannot stop the run.
Right.
So I look for Josh Jacobs to just go off, Emmanuel Wilson go off. But again, they're a feisty team. Their defense, again, they just want to get after the quarterback, but stop the run. But I tell you what, on offense, they can run the football. If Bryce is back, they will take opportunities, but they like to stay in games, Tom, until the fourth quarter, and then they'll do anything.
Hang around.
You got to just take this team out early. Just get up on them early, run the football, hope it's windy and cold, and that'll be a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah. No looking ahead to Philadelphia because this is an NFC game.
No, not at all. Because remember, we went through that with Cleveland. We went through that even with Dallas, giving up 40 points. So they're past that now. But I would say this in my prediction. I always say this. Whenever the Green Bay Packers score 30 points, they could beat anybody in this league. Anybody, any team, anybody. Because now you have to play catch up, and that's when they unleash that pass rush. Okay. So I would say the Packers 30, the Panthers 17.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We do not have X's and O's for you for obvious reasons. We don't have our magic board with us, and we'll have to do that after the Carolina game. But be sure you stick with us next week. We'll have X's and O's again. And do you have some people you want to thank before we head out?
Always a pleasure. Visit Milwaukee.org. You can go there and find out all the great things. And we got a program called Ask LeRoy. And again, I want you to always visit Pick and Save Metro Market. Ask them about my Elite Vodka. And if you're out scanning the airways, look up CharlieBarons.com. He's one of the funniest comedians ever. He's on a big tour. You can find out where you can buy tickets. And again, I want to thank all the fans that came to Tom's Watch Bar. It was amazing. We had a Go Pack, Go chant going for like 10 minutes. And I'm going to release some of that video for that. So I'm very, very excited about that. Thank you, guys. Right. And Tostitos chips. Don't forget about those for any pregame tailgate.
They had, I'm going to help you out here. They had that in the Pittsburgh press box. I saw them putting Tostitos chips in the bowl. The rest of the food was god awful. Sorry, Pittsburgh, but I had some Tostitos chips, and now I would like a lifetime supply for mentioning that. Okay.
Yeah. I'll hook you up.
See what you can do about that. All right, because I do like some Tostitos. Okay?
I got you.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, and look forward to seeing you next week. Everybody have a good week. Take care.
All right, and thank you, Bill, for helping us set all this stuff up. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Bye.